Let's begin with the top developments coming in from Punjab this morning. Well, news came in earlier in the day that suggestions were being made to fill in a stopgap arrangement. We have an interim chief minister who will take control of the state till the time elections actually come in and a model code of conduct is implemented. Names were discussed within the Congress High Command. Ambika Soni's name came in, but she declined being that stopgap arrangement really and saying, well, according to her, a Sikh leader should be taking that position. Post that, several names being discussed, and at the moment what we are hearing is that the High Command here at the centre, that Sonia Gandhi along with Rahul Gandhi and Priyanka Gandhi have discussed names which will then be passed on to a committee of 3 people who are sitting in, who are Congress's Punjab in charge of the working committee. They will be discussing those names then one-on-one with the MLAs and try and give a report back to the centre on which way the consensus is actually building up. So lots of reactions coming in over there. Let's quickly listen in from Ambika Soni.
मैंने मना कर दिया है, पार्टी की एक्सरसाइज चंडीगढ़ में चल रही है, जनरल सेक्रेटरी है वहाँ और दोनों ऑब्जर्वर हैं, वो एक एमएलए से पूछ रहे हैं लिखित में उनकी क्या राय है। फिर आप मैं कहती हूँ कि पंजाब का मुखिया सीएम को वो एक सिख चेहरा होना चाहिए, क्योंकि देश में सिर्फ एक ही सूबा है जहाँ सिख को बनाया। फाइनल हो जाएगा नाम, हो जाना।
All right, so we reported that first here on NDTV, and you hear Ambika Soni confirming all those details over there. Sunil Prabhu brought us up to speed with all of that as well. Ghazali has been tracking those details as well from Punjab. Sunil, any more clarity on what exactly is happening? And if we were to understand this entire process of decision making, 3 things really that our viewers need to know. One, Congress says that by the end of the day, they hope to have another name to lead the party or at least be an interim chief minister. Second, the High Command has come up with names which is then being sent to the 3-member committee who is then having one-on-one interaction with the MLAs and trying to build consensus. So it's going to be a long process, but it looks like at the moment that a couple of names, especially those of Sikh leaders, are being discussed.
That's right, Sonal, and we'll have to put it in perspective on all those 3 points. One, of course, is that it's not a top-down approach, it's a bottoms-up approach where these MLAs will be giving their views on who is emerging. There has been no consensus from what we have been made to understand from the observers in terms of names. So now they will have to build a consensus around that name. There's Pratap Singh Bajwa, there's Randwa, and now, of course, there's a talk of a Dalit Sikh leading the party. So it's in that backdrop that the Congress party is, discussing the entire issue. And then, of course, one of the options is to have deputy chief ministers so as to be sure that not only is a Sikh, but Hindus as well as campaign chief and everything else are there to take the party forward. And it's all-encompassing to take on the Akalis and the BSP, which are in alliance, as well as the Aam Aadmi Party. So that's the backdrop. But we'll have to wait and see because no consensus has emerged from the Gandhi usually MLAs to give their views, which has emerged. There's no consensus. Now they'll try to work with the observers to work towards a consensus, and hopefully by the end of the day, if not today, then tomorrow, once a consensus emerges, will they elect that CLP and then stake claim to form the government. But at this stage, as I said, one of the options apart from the 2 deputy CMs is to put a Dalit face, a Dalit Sikh to lead the party. To ensure that there's even balancing, because Mr. Navjot Sidhu is a Judge Sikh. We've just taken over, ensure that Mr. Captain Amarinder has stepped down, who's also a Judge Sikh. And it's in that backdrop they'll have to work things out. So let's wait and see. But definitely a difficult task. And as I've been pointing out, very poor handling of the entire affair by the Congress party and the Congress leadership.